All right, let's talk crypto. In this world, speed and information are absolutely everything. But here's the thought. What if there's this hidden threat, this multi-million-dollar industry that's just lurking in that tiny gap between you clicking swap and your trade actually going through? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on that exact threat, and I'm going to show you how to defend your funds.
So let me just ask you straight up. Is someone secretly profiting from your crypto trades? It's a pretty intense question, I know, but it's one you really should be asking. Because, the answer is yes, way more often than you'd think. Every single day, there are these sophisticated bots just skimming profits right off the top of trades from people just like you.
I want you to think about it like this. Before your transaction gets finalized, right? Before it's set in stone on the blockchain, it has to sit in this public space. It's kind of like a waiting room, and it's called the mempool. And in this super crowded, totally transparent waiting room, what you're trying to do is visible to everyone. And that includes people who are looking to take advantage of you.
Okay, so let's really dive into this hidden waiting room. To get a handle on the threat, we first have to understand the environment where it all goes down. We're talking about something called maximal extractable value, or as you'll see it, MEV.
Now I know, that sounds super technical, right? And it is. It actually used to be called minor extractable value, because back in the day, miners could reorder transactions for their own benefit. Today, on networks like Ethereum, pretty much anyone who builds the blocks can do it. But what in the world does that actually mean for your wallet?
Let's just cut through the jargon. Here's the deal. Because that waiting room is public, someone can see your trade, jump ahead of you in line, and mess with the market in that split second before your transaction is confirmed, all just to make a quick buck at your expense. It's a hidden tax you didn't even know you were paying.
And that brings us to, well, the villains of our story, the predators that hunt in the mempool. And we're not talking about people sitting behind a keyboard here. We're talking about automated, lightning-fast programs designed for one thing.
These MEV bots, they're like digital hunters on the blockchain. They are constantly scanning that public waiting room 24/7, looking for any profitable pattern or trade they can possibly exploit. And let me tell you, they are incredibly good at their job.
Now, these bots have a lot of tricks up their sleeve, but there's one that is especially common and really costly for everyday users like us. It's called the sandwich attack. And yeah, it does exactly what it sounds like. It traps your trade right in the middle.
So let's break down how this little heist works. First, the bot sees your buy order in the mempool. Then it front-runs you, which means it buys the exact same asset moments before you do, pushing the price up just a little bit. Then, step 3, your trade goes through, but at that new, slightly higher price. And finally, the bot immediately sells its position, locking in a basically risk-free profit. What's the result? You get a worse price, and the bot walks away with the difference.
Okay, I know, that sounds pretty bleak. But I promise you, it's not all bad news. You do not have to be a victim here. There are some really powerful and honestly pretty simple steps you can take to shield your trades from these predators. So let's get into your first line of defense. These are your universal shields, and they work. For example, just by setting a low slippage tolerance on your DEX, you give those bots way less room to play with the price. Or, even better, use limit orders. That way, you set the exact price you're willing to buy or sell at, which totally takes away the bot's ability to inflate it on you. And if you want to go even further, using private channels or these intent-based protocols can hide your trade from that public waiting room altogether.
Now, beyond those basic settings, probably your most powerful weapon in this whole fight is the crypto wallet you choose to use. I want you to start thinking of your wallet not just as a place to keep your crypto, but as your personal shield in this battle.
And this really breaks down the two main ways you can go about it. On one side, you've got Rabby Wallet, which is kind of like a smart shield. It has MEV protection built right in, it's automatic, perfect if you just want security without all the fuss. Then, on the other side, you've got the classic MetaMask. Think of it as the custom shield, which you can totally power up with a few settings if you want more hands-on control.
Setting up Rabby is just incredibly straightforward. You basically just enable transaction simulation in the settings, and that's it. From then on, Rabby pre-scans all your trades for any potential risks and will automatically route them through private channels to keep you safe. It's a true set-it-and-forget-it kind of solution.
Now, with MetaMask, you get to be the master of your own defense. The key here is adding something called a protected RPC. Now, think of an RPC as the messenger that sends your transaction to the blockchain.
A protected RPC is like giving that messenger a secret, totally secure tunnel to travel through, hiding it from all the bots lurking in the public mempool. By adding one and turning on smart transactions, you're basically building your own fortress. It takes a few extra clicks, but it gives you total control.
But what if you want, the ultimate level of protection? For those of you who want maximum security, there is a way to power up pretty much any compatible wallet to its highest possible defensive potential.
This is where a dedicated service like mevblocker.io comes into play. It's a specialized and free RPC that you can add to Rabby, MetaMask, or almost any other wallet you use. It is designed with one single goal: to stop front-running and sandwich attacks dead in their tracks.
And if you're wondering just how effective it is, well, just look at this number: $219 billion.
That is the total value of user transactions that have been shielded by this one single service. And get this is the best part. If any profit is made from your trade through, ethical ways like backrunning, MevBlocker actually gives you 90% of it back as a rebate. So you're not just protected, you might even get paid. So let's do a quick recap of the really crucial points here. MEV is real, it's a hidden cost, but you can absolutely fight it. So start with the basics: low slippage, limit orders. Then choose your shield, an easy all-in-one wallet like Rabby or a customizable one like MetaMask. And if you want that ultimate power-up, add a dedicated RPC like mevblocker.io.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to this simple idea. The whole promise of crypto has always been about putting power back into the hands of the individual, not creating new, complicated ways for people to get exploited.
So look, the tools are out there, and now you know exactly how to use them. Those digital hunters are definitely still roaming the mempool, but you no longer have to be the prey. So the only question left is, now that you have the shield, are you ready to trade smarter?
Are you ready? Ready to fly up into the sky on a balloon ride? It's gonna happen soon.